Hello, this is TKMan659 again, doing the second episode of the not Let's Play, of the playthrough. The exact same thing, except I'm using the Iron Hammer, Iron Hammer Plus. You only need a bit of iron ore, I think, to upgrade it, and maybe some earth crystals, I think. I didn't really check. So we're going to be doing the big game hunting. But one thing, if you're doing this how I'm doing this, you would have the tinged meat left over from the lance and any other things you're doing. So even though this is not level appropriate, this meat, you actually get the item. So, because with the hammer you can exhaust it, so I'm going to be using that tinged meat, and the extra they give you in the box is going to be pretty useful as well if I run out. So this is kind of going to be like a little tutorial of how to, by the way, same items as last time. Potion, whetstone, and paintballs left over from the last round. So, this is, like I said, this is going to be kind of a little tutorial of how to use the tinged meat they give you in the box. If you're like wondering how, why do they give it to you? How do you use it? What's it for? Well, I'm going to explain to you in this. And if you're watching this just to watch it, because you like Monster Hunter and you already know what this does, then you're probably going to like not care about the next few minutes. Or next few seconds, minutes, I don't know, probably maybe 1 minute. They actually give you a flash bomb, I didn't know that. The tinged meat will actually paralyze Jaggi. He'll stay in a little paralysis animation, and he'll stay still, and you can do whatever you want to him. And how you do that is when a monster is exhausted, which means you're doing enough KO damage to its body rather than its head. Because if you actually do KO damage, which the hammer does, to its head, then you will be able. Then when it's exhausted, it'll be drooling, and you will either look for somewhere to eat, or if you dropped meat, then it would go for that. Now, with the hammer is the best also KO'er in the game. So if Jaggi's head is in front of you, like imagine his head's right in front of me, and he's paralyzed, then what you're going to do, if you have the Wiimote, is hit A 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Make sure that last hit hits his head, hits him in the head, or just hit him for the damage. And then after you do that, to do it again, just start holding Z as if you're going to charge, and then hit the 3 hits again. And while he's paralyzed, which I'm probably going to do that with, otherwise just try to get some hits off on him when you can. Because damage is damage, and damage is good. Well, damage to monsters is good damage, not to you. If you hit him in the head, any monster in the head, you should tell where the head is. It's where their eyes are. It's what you see when it's walking towards you. With Jaggi, it's kind of easy to tell where his head is if it is hard for you, because he has that frill. And one of the subquests is actually to stun him and wound his head. So for hammer users, this is actually pretty awesome. Is he coming here? So if you're a hammer user and you start fighting, you're gonna fight him when you first fight him. He's gonna be in that beginning area. But since I talked so long, he's here. Lay down the meat in the beginning and then start attacking him, because then when he's exhausted, you don't have to worry about setting the meat. So, start hitting his body for the KO damage. And you see that yellow spark that happens sometimes when I hit him? That means you hit the head. If you see the little yellow spark, that means you hit the head and did KO damage. Did you see that right there? There, see? It's a KO, and I didn't even put him in the tinged meat. Since he's not exhausted yet, I'm going to be going for his body. And I'm just doing that thing I showed you in camp. And that last hit is really what you get off. And if you charge, the level 2 charge, you go like that. You can combo it into a little mini combo of the other thing. And if you charge it all the way, if you release it while spinning, you'll do this. After 3 rotations hit A, and you'll do the golf swing. And then if you release it while stationary, then you will do the super pound, which is what I use to stun monsters like Rathalos. Because that is easy to get out. It's easy to position. By the way, I also use it on Raytheon. And it also is very damaging and very KO damage effective. The end of the spin combo, the golf swing at the end of the spin combo, and the golf spin at the end of the 3-hit combo, and the second attack of the super pound do the exact same amount of KO damage. I just think that the super pound is easier to get off. I'm trying to exhaust him. It doesn't look like he's getting exhausted. That was very dumb. Don't do that. If you see him attacking you, dodge out of the way. Don't just stand there and let yourself get hit. Which I apparently just He's exhausted. You can see that he's drooling. I don't know why he isn't going for the meat. See, look, that means he's exhausted. You can see he's drooling. Let's see if he goes for the meat. Yeah, look, he's gonna eat the meat. And then look what happens. Then, boom, he's paralyzed. So, this is what I said before. Jaggy's in front of you. You go for his head. And by the way, if you see me rolling at the end of each attack, that's me dodging. It's an evade. To dodge, just hit B and point in the direction you want to evade. Control nunchuck. And this is done for him with the hammer, because he really isn't that of a fight. You see monsters later that are really hard to hammer.
Like, later on there's a monster called Ergon, and his head has this really hard to break chin, so you can't really use those normal attacks on him. You have to use the super pound or have ESP, because even with the purple sharpness, which is the highest sharpness in the game, the only way to get that, by the way, is to have a last year on Devil Joe weapons with sharpness +1. And you will still bounce on his chin. So, with hammer users, that super pound has, what's it called? ESP, I think it's, or fencing. The skill is called Mind's Eye. You get it from Wrathbolts Plus. And that makes, and you won't bounce ever. Even on that guy's chin, you won't bounce. And it does the same, and it does the KO damage as well. So, he's hard to hammer if you're using regular attacks. Like when he's KO'd, you can't hit his head. You have to hit his body, which is kind of good for exhaust damage. Ooh, I just killed him. But this isn't an Ergan tutorial. And like I said, I'm going to get cards because I think that Jaggi-Hammer would be very useful to me. I'm not going to use it online until I overforge it, but... Now, instead of me talking for the rest of this, I'm going to be killing Jaggies, getting materials. I need the scales and the regular Jaggi hide for the armor. Oh man, this hammer just has such low attack. Like when you get to one of the higher off hammers, you can actually kill them with one of the first hits. If you actually have a very low damaging hammer, you can knock out the minion monsters. So that is it for the hammer. I'll let you see the rewards. Let's see, what do I get? Free Jaggi Claw, Jaggi Hide, Jaggi Scale, Monster Small, Screamers. Screamers are actually, they are useful against the Diablos because they make sonic bombs. And that is it for Great Jaggi with the hammer. See you next time.